It's Disruptive FM. Disruptive FM. Disruptive FM. Welcome to Disruptive FM, where business and culture collide. Sponsored by Microsoft and Branding Strategy Insider. With your host, Jeffrey Colon.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, what's up? It's Disruptive FM, episode 7 for the week ending June 1st, 2018. Can you believe it? It's 1 month until half of 2018 is behind us. I'm Jeffrey Colon, your audio guide for the next quarter hour as we dissect the culture of business and look at what's happening at the intersection of tech, media, and popular culture. Come with it.
Here are this week's trending topics. For the gram.
For a long time, it was a requirement to be found via Google. Then it was important to be on Facebook. But the new businesses of the world taking over are doing it gram by gram. That's right, Instagram. It has become the de facto business must. In 2012, we saw the rise of not simply business-to-consumer influencers on the platform, but business-to-business too. And now we're seeing businesses of all shapes and sizes and niches finding an audience. But don't take our word for it. We speak to one of the top rising influencers on the platform, Julian Mitchell, who is a columnist for Beats by Dre and Forbes magazine, and spent his past doing tons of cultural marketing for Complex. Here are his thoughts on who and what to watch on the gram from an interview earlier this week from the streets of New York City via Skype.
Content is not a marketing strategy anymore. Content is the brand, right? That's become the brand itself. And it's definitely the language that brands are using to communicate to consumers and communicate with culture. What Instagram has done is truly made a shift from the cultural side of marketing to the lifestyle side of marketing, because we, with our mobile devices, have become where we want utility over just entertainment and recreation, right? Like, we want things that, you know, we can go in our pocket and pull out a utility, and it's things that either give us the information we need immediately, or give us a product we need immediately, or give us an experience we need immediately, or give us something that can be applied to our lifestyles and our everyday life. So I think when you look at what Instagram does is people follow and want to see brands that are showing a reflection of their lifestyle and what they care about in environments, in spaces, in real instances where they can see how the brand plays into that, and then create direct-to-consumer platforms and ways to where you can make purchases directly, you can visit stores directly, you can engage the brand directly through Instagram as a platform.
That's Julian Mitchell, who joined us via Skype and is a columnist for Beats by Dre and Forbes magazine. Follow him on Instagram at allthingsmitch.
Trending topics on DFM. The Alexa bug.
So last week, a woman in Portland, Oregon claims that her family's Amazon Echo smart speaker recorded a private conversation and sent it to someone on her contact list. This was a bug, of course, since this isn't how smart speakers are supposed to work. Or is it? When you plug in a smart speaker, it monitors the room all the time to detect what you're saying. And this gets us wondering, what if the real invasion of privacy isn't police or the government intruding into your home, but private corporations looking to scope your data? Now, in all of this, Amazon said this wasn't supposed to happen and issued this statement, quoting, "Echo woke up due to a word in background conversations sounding like Alexa. Then the subsequent conversation was heard as a send message request, at which point Alexa said out loud, 'To whom?' And the background conversation was interpreted as a name in the user's contact list. Alexa then asked, again out loud, 'Contact name, right?' Alexa then interpreted background conversation as right. As unlikely as this string of events is, we are evaluating options to make this case even less likely. Most likely, Amazon will figure out a special two-step command you must give Alexa before it sends any messages. So Alexa was working the way she was intended to, but maybe not the way we intended. Careful what you say, people. Your walls may have ears.
Trending topics on DFM. The future is live.
So I'm recording this from Summit Live in San Francisco. It's a full flower moon in the city, harking back to the 1990s when full moon raves used to take place on the beaches of Northern California. We ask what would that look like in an era of live video streaming. This one-day summit looks at how video has evolved, where it's been and where it's going. Here are my thoughts. Just like mobile and social rose together when people could take photos and post them in real time video is going to reshape social media. And here's why. Live video is the number one way to capture moments. Live is still the best way for us to come together in a communal fashion. We don't do this when we Netflix and chill. And we certainly don't do this around DVR'd TV programs anymore. But with live communal moments, we can move back to a cultural zeitgeist really missing from stagnant social media. I think this is something to watch, especially now that the barrier to entry is lower. Just like audio recording and podcasting got easier with GarageBand, now professional quality live video is getting less expensive with smartphone hardware like Padcaster, Iographer, and platforms like Switcher and Brand Live. For the cost of a few $1,000s a year, any brand can have their own live video channel outside of the walled gardens of Facebook.
It's Disruptive FM.
Communications.
The Business Culture Podcast.
They say if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of today.
It's Disruptive FM. I'm Jeffrey Colon. Thanks for checking us out. In the background, new music from Brownout, a Texas-based funk band with their cover of Public Enemy's Fight the Power. That's from Brownout's new album of Public Enemy covers called Fear of a Brown Planet, out now. Hey, you want to hear a bit of DFM every day? Check us out on our daily briefing on all Amazon Echo devices. Say, Alexa, enable Disruptive FM Daily. When you want to listen, say, Alexa, what's in the news? You get a 2-minute flash briefing curated by us. Okay, time once again to expose the BS, hypocrisy, and all-around bad actors that we see too much in the business world.
And now, Disruptive FM presents...
What kind of shit is that?
Come on!
So the big story this week, ABC shocking the world on Tuesday, abruptly canceling its top-rated sitcom Roseanne after its namesake star made inflammatory tweets about former Obama aide Valerie Jarrett. There was only one thing to do here, and that was the right thing, Disney CEO Bob Iger said on Twitter shortly after the decision. That very same day, writers for the show had convened to begin work on season 2. And just in April, it was reported that the program was the #1 show on television among total viewers and among the key 18 to 49 demographic. ABC's first #1 since the year 2000. But that doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter. Twitter might be a place where celebs think they can be active and show their politics. But if those politics cross a line and show their bigotry, well, then they deserve the Gong Show hook. Roseanne was quick to say she was sorry, and get ready for this, said she would leave Twitter as her punishment. Punishment? That is more like a reward for most of us. Sorry, Roseanne, you took it too far this time, and ABC did the right thing by thinking of people instead of the bottom line. What is so interesting here is the ratings were sky high, but that doesn't excuse being a hate-filled racist. I think we turn this into a teaching moment by saying,
What? Come on!
all right, time to check out what's on the radar.
Here's what's on our radar. Number 1.
San Francisco's city attorney Dennis Herrera subpoenaed Uber and Lyft to turn over employment classification and other records related to driver wages, healthcare, and other benefits, Reuters reports. The California Supreme Court recently ruled that employers cannot classify workers as independent contractors unless they prove they are not under their direct control, do not perform a core business function, and are in an independent business. Herrera's investigation wants to ensure drivers of the ride-hailing apps receive sick leave, health care, and paid parental leave in accordance with the ruling. This all reported by The Hill, citing a Herrera statement.
Number 2.
Here come the dog wars. Seattle-based dog walking and pet sitting company A Place for Rover, better known as Rover, has raised $155 million in a fresh round of funding, the Wall Street Journal reports. And that rounds the values of the company to about $970 million. Rover's funding comes a few months after competitor WAG raised more than $300 million, led by an investment from SoftBank. Money is flowing into pet startups as investors try to tap into the $85 billion pet care market. Pet supplier Chewy.com sold to PetSmart Inc. for more than $3 billion earlier this year.
Number 3.
Does social media lack context? An interviewer's off-the-cuff comments about Taylor Swift's hygiene have caused a stir on social media. Following her Sunday performance at BBC's Biggest Weekend in Wales, the singer gave a rare live interview with presenter DJ Greg James. Though most of the chat was straightforward and not the least bit controversial, James's closing remarks had Swifties, or Taylor Swift fans as they're known on social media, feeling some type of way. Quote, "It's nice to see you. I think you need to have a shower now," the BBC Radio 1 host told Swift. It's important to note that Reputation artist had just performed a 6-song set in reportedly 80% humidity. Though she wasn't drenched in sweat, Swift agreed with James's suggestion. Her quote, "I'm not offended that you said that. There's a lot going on and none of it's good," she said. Swift, a seasoned interviewee, played the comment off extremely well and deftly avoided a potentially awkward moment. But a portion of her loyal fan base wasn't so quick to let James off the hook. Some fans let the media personality slide, insisting his suggestion was classic British humor. However, many others claim the so-called joke was rude and ill-mannered. One tweet said, "Can't believe someone had the audacity to tell Taylor Swift to take a shower in her first interview in 2 years. The nerve." James said he was initially going to say to Swift, "I think we should both go for a shower." But after that reaction from Swifties, he's glad he didn't. Okay, that's a wrap for another episode of DFM. As always, thanks for checking us out. Connect with us by following me on Twitter or Instagram at DJGEOFFE. That's at DJ Jeffy. And follow Disruptive FM on Twitter or Instagram at Disruptive FM. And you can read more in-depth content via our sponsors, Microsoft.com/stories or BrandingStrategyInsider.com. Also, check out the Disruptive Brand Strategy Workshop at BrandingStrategyInsider.com to get in-person education from yours truly. I'm Jeffrey Colon. Catch you next week.
You've been listening to Disruptive FM with Microsoft Communications designer Jeffrey Colon. All thoughts are his own. Disruptive FM is produced in Los Angeles by Feeler Media.